Duke, what's with the hair? You got aspirin?
You should feel better momentarily, and your memory will slowly return.
Duke, what's with the hair?
The specific...
Question. What kind of bear is best?
That's a ridiculous question.
False. Black bear. Fact. Bears eat beets.
Oh.
Bears. Beets. Battlestar Galactica.
Bears do not...
Yeah, Bob. You remember Bob, the guy that's gonna launch a nuclear attack? You got any more abuse you want to hurl my way? Or are you ready to go in here and take care of Bob?
What do you propose, Bob?
When in doubt, C4.
You're listening to Penguin Thoughts. These are the thoughts that penguins are thinking when they were thinking that they were thinking about the thoughts they were thinking when they were thinking them. That is, we think.
I think I finally figured out what's wrong with me. It wouldn't be a professional penguin podcast. Right, it's not professional. If it wasn't without technical issues. And I had sound issues. I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear anything, actually. And that just happened right in the middle of starting it. Because when I started, I had sound. But then all of a sudden, I didn't have sound. It's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's OBS or Windows or what it was. But then all of a sudden, the sound just came back. So, let's get to it. We're going to be into... What? Tracy? What's wrong with you? We don't have all day? Well, yeah, you do. You have all day to listen to this crazy penguin. You're supposed to. That's what's supposed to happen, campers. You're supposed to listen to me. Anyway. Let's get to it. All right. Fair to warn you, this episode of Penguin Thoughts is going to have possible spoilers in it if you've not seen the first two episodes of The Acolyte. I will put up my spoiler sign when I get to that part of it. But nevertheless, there are a lot of things that have been happening this week, and a lot of them that the penguin's mad about. I don't like them. The first one we're going to talk about is they're calling R2D2 gay. Are you kidding me? This is stupid, insane, like a droid. A droid has a gender. Not. And what does a droid care about? Their sexual identity. They don't. They're a droid. That's like saying your cell phone. Is it male or female? Really? Are you kidding me? Just how stupid can these people be? They don't live in a world that's called reality. Anyway, let's take a look here what they're saying. This stuff is just absolutely flooring me. So let's switch over. All right. Up on the Daily Wire. And I don't know if I put the links to the articles in my description, but I know I put the links to all the videos we're going to watch today. There is an article here on the Daily Wire that I could not believe this. And I read through this, and I even found a video to where she actually says this. But the showrunner for The Acolyte, if you don't know who that is, That's Leslie Headland, former assistant to Harvey Weinstein. I like calling her Leslie Head Square because, man, her head is so blasted square. I'm a penguin, and all you mammals look alike. But I'm telling you right now, even this little penguin could tell that her head just looks way too like a block of ice. I'm telling you. It's messed up. Anyway, it says right here, the Acolyte showrunner says she's so into series being called the gayest Star Wars ever, and even calls R2D2 a lesbian. Really? I'm telling you right now, how much more messed up can this be? Yeah, you and your wolves. Anyway, Star Wars The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Head Square expressed her enthusiasm when an interviewer who called the new series the gayest Star Wars said she thinks it's canon that the character R2D2 is a lesbian. Head Square made the remarks during an interview with The Wrap. The 44-year-old filmmaker seemed surprised that infusing the show with LGBTQ themes would be a big deal. Is it going to be a talking point? She asked the interviewer. Acolyte actress Amandla Stenberg, who's shown right here, chimed in because nerds are gay. We are not gay! I'm telling you right now, they just want to project what they're doing in their life. It's so stupid. And the show is stupid. It's official, campers. Disney Star Wars is formally gay. And there is a thing out there, supposedly next week's episode, episode 3, is going to be a seminal episode, and it's really going to define what the Force really is, redefine it. And I've been listening a little bit to what Chris Gore said about it on Film Threat, and because he's had a chance to see the first 4 episodes, I believe, and he said that it's this episode 3 next week of The Acolyte is going to be like the Timeless Child was to Doctor Who. Completely changes who the Doctor is. In this case, it's going to completely change what the Force is. And I am so glad, for me, Star Wars has been dead for a very long time. Especially since pretty much the Last Jedi. And now, even looking back, The Force Awakens doesn't look all that great to me either. Anyway, let's watch this little interview here. I'm going to show it up on X, a.k.a. Twitter. This is about 120, not 120 minutes, a minute and 20 seconds. It feels like 120 minutes. I'm telling you right now, this is so cringe. I just want to puke. And that takes a lot for penguins to puke. Anyway, let's watch it. I can't believe they think this way.
I want to ask you both because...
Oh, by the way, if you haven't figured out by now why the Acolyte show released in June, on June 4th, newsflash for you, the whole month is Gay Pride Month. Shocker! Not surprising. Anyway.
This is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not
bracing
the gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the...
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited?
Well, shocker, we knew you were gay.
This is going to be a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure so.
Because nerds are gay.
Well,
Yeah.
some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened.
This guy looks gay too.
But in my world,
And I don't know why this even matters. I just don't understand it.
Nerds are gay.
Was this the fun element of?
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly.
You're offended?
Into it. No.
Look what she just said there. They are calling this the gayest Star Wars, and she's glad about it. She's into it. It just tells you right then and there, these people have no respect whatsoever for what George Lucas has done or anything that came before that, before Disney acquired Star Wars. All they care about is pushing their stupid agenda, their lifestyle, for lack of a better word, their sin on everybody else. They just want you to be like them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you logically think this out, even this little penguin understands this, that if every single penguin is gay, the penguin species ceases to exist. Hello? Because procreation requires two opposite genders, not the same gender. Anyway, I don't know why I went on that rant, but nevertheless.
I think that Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you telling me, with a straight face, that C-3PO is straight?
They're a couple. That's what I think. But this is
Are you
more
kidding
outward.
me?
I think it's canon that R2D2 is a lesbian.
Now see, think about that. Not only is she calling R2D2 a droid who doesn't have a sex in the first place, calling R2D2 and C-3PO both gay, and they called C-3PO a straight man, but that he's gay. I mean, a gay man. But then they turn around and call R2D2 a lesbian, which means that he's gay and a female. This is all just so stupid. It just doesn't matter in the bigger scheme of things, in my opinion. And I agree with you completely, Tracy. That God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Or even Eve and Alice. You know, it's just a perversion. It's sick, it's twisted, and now they're pushing it on my favorite Star Wars character. Sorry, I get a little frustrated. Okay, I need to calm down. So we're gonna sip some iced coffee. So sip them if you got them. You know, that's one of the reasons why I keep the iced coffee around, is not only to keep me hydrated and keep me caffeinated, but also to chill me out, because it chills me down. Okay. I gotta go to my happy place, and it's not Star Wars anymore. Oh.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ask Filoni. Okay.
Ask for
Can you
one.
imagine?
Yeah, talk to Filoni.
Yeah, I didn't know if there's anything after that or not. I didn't bother to watch it the other day. This is how much they don't know about the Star Wars, okay? Not only did they say that they're calling R2D2 and C-3PO gay, and that they are making everyone in the show pretty much gay, which, why does that matter? They also don't even know Star Wars canon. Listen to this guy. This is the guy that plays one of the Jedi in the Acolyte. He's got a yellow lightsaber. But here's where he listened to an interview that he's talking about. This is Charlie Bennett. It floors me that their knowledge of Star Wars is non-existent.
People have been talking to me online about how Darth Vader is such a bad person. It's very clear, and it's very well established from those actions. But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star...
Anakin blowing up the Death Star. Did you catch that? He said Anakin blowing up the Death Star. It wasn't Anakin that did it. It was Luke. Anakin is Darth Vader. I wish I could make this stuff up, but I just can't. They just continually, on a regular basis, keep showing their ignorance, showing their disrespect, showing just the shills that they are. Yeah, that's all you can really kind of do is shake your head and face flipper. You know, I face flipper because, you know, I'm a penguin. I got flippers. I don't really face palm. But yes, exactly, Tracy. Face palm again. All right. I am going to go and watch something that's a little bit more entertaining than the Acolyte itself. And that's actually the review and breakdown that a YouTuber I like called Drunk3PO, Jay, he did. And we're going to watch all 17 minutes of this because he breaks down. I watched it the other day, and I absolutely agree 100% with everything he's saying. And I think he's on point just how bad this show is. He breaks down the Acolyte episodes 1 and 2. So, better warn you, if you have not seen Star Wars, the Acolyte episode 1 and 2, and more power to you if you care about it, that's great. I don't, but hey, if you like it and you care about it, great. I'm not going to tell you what to watch or what not to watch. But if you haven't seen it and you care about it, we are now in spoiler territory. All right? So, you have been warned. All right, so let's go ahead and let's watch it.
Well, it's that time, and welcome, everyone, for being here. For this is my review, reaction, whatever we're going to call this, of Acolyte episode 1 and 2. Yes, there will be...
By the way, out of the
whatever we're going to call
there
this,
was exactly
of Acolyte episode 1 and 2.
There was exactly 2 things that I did like about the Acolyte show. This guy, Master Soul, plays a Jedi Master. I did like him. And I did like that they did move away from the volume and used actual real sets and real props. It's obvious. It's got the same type of feel that Andor does. Not that it's a really great looking show, but the fact that they at least are not using the volume. It makes it look a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit. And so there you go. So the shills out there can't say that this little penguin did say nothing was good about the Acolyte. Not true. I did like Master Soul, which I'm not sure the name of the actor who plays him, but I think he did a good job for what he's given. And I did like some of the set pieces. They did look more like Star Wars than what some of the previous shows have been. It's not, in my opinion, the same level as Lucas Star Wars, but at least I can see there's an effort. Maybe not a good effort, but still an effort. To the tune of $180 million that made this show and took them 4 years to do all this. Yeah, they did a little bit of something. Anyway, let's listen to Jay here talk about the Acolyte.
Yes, there will be spoilers, and some of the characters, I don't remember their names, so we're going to do our best here. All I ask is just sit back and have a good laugh with me as we go over the Acolyte. Are you ready? All right, let's begin. Our series begins 100 years before the rise of the Empire. It is a time of peace. The Jedi Order and the Galactic Republic.
I am half tempted to make a video that says 100 years before the rise of the Empire is a time where Star Wars is gay. Because it's pretty much what this show is. Anyway.
Republic have prospered for centuries without war. But in the dark corners of the galaxy, a powerful few learn to use the Force in secret. One of them, a lone assassin, risks discovery to seek revenge. Now, just remember, this is the overall theme, I believe, of the Acolyte so far, is that people are learning how to use the Force without being taught by the Jedi. All right.
Yeah, because it's 100 years, supposed to be 100 years before Phantom Menace. Before the prequels, basically.
Assassin shows up at a local tavern looking for a master Jedi. I forgot her name, so we're just going to call her Trinity from The Matrix.
That actress, she played Trinity in The Matrix. That's Carrie-Anne Moss. And she plays a Jedi Master named Inara, I believe.
When she finds her, she looks at Trinity and says, "Attack me with all your power."
Yeah,
and,
I thought that was stupid.
They begin to fight. All right, there's a couple scuffle scenes going on here, but they literally go into a Matrix-style fighting scene. How appropriate for Trinity. After Trinity bests the assassin several times over in a...
Yeah, I will say this. Out of 2 episodes, we've yet to see really any true lightsaber battles. Period.
Fight, we then come to learn that this assassin also has Force powers by shoving her up against the wall, and they begin talking. Trinity then says...
Now, let me clarify. When I say lightsaber battles, I mean there are 2 lightsaber wielders. This one is just one Jedi with a lightsaber, and the assassin's got knives. Knives! Knives, I tell you. Knives.
Hey, you don't have to go down this path, and that's not what happens. So she decides to trick the Master Jedi by throwing one of her small daggers at the bartender, and when the Master Jedi tries to stop the dagger, the assassin throws another dagger and hits her right in the heart, killing her. So yeah, Moss.
Yeah. So basically she did a switch. While Carrie-Anne Moss was preventing the dagger thrown at the bartender from penetrating the bartender's skull, that's when the assassin threw the second knife and hit her in the heart.
Moss here, who plays a Master Jedi, gets killed by a tiny dagger, even though she has layers of clothes on. This makes no sense to me. We have seen in Disney Star Wars before that people can get stabbed through their vital organs with a lightsaber multiple times and walk away with just a little scratch. But
yeah, like at the beginning of the Ahsoka series, where we saw what's her name? I don't remember. It's that forgettable. But she got skewered through the abdomen with a lightsaber and lived. But yet, this person, Carrie-Anne Moss's character, gets struck in the heart. Now, granted, it's in the heart, but goes with a knife through several layers of clothing. And more importantly, the part that Jay could have added here is Jedi Masters know how to do Force healing, even on themselves. So it's like, why isn't she like removing the dagger and healing herself? It's very possible within the realm of possibility, unless, of course, she doesn't know how to do Force healing. I don't know. That could be the possibility, I guess. But I'm guessing it's because good old Leslie Head Square doesn't know Star Wars. I know that because in a different interview, I'm not going to show today, she actually was asked, so which is your favorite Star Wars episode? She said, oh, all of them. Really? You ask a true Star Wars fan, they can tell you which movie they like the best. Mine's Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. Hands down, always going to be my favorite. Anyway.
In this series, apparently, a little dagger can kill a Jedi. This is ridiculous because this is a Master Jedi. She should have easily mopped the floor with this person, even if they knew a little force push here and there without hesitation.
I agree. That's the other thing,
too. This fight should have been over before it started, and this could have been the end of the series. But the fact that they are now setting up this assassin to be able to kill Master Jedi Knights with ease, without a lightsaber, without knowing that much of the Force, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And sadly, that's the end of Carrie Ann Moss. She lasted about 5 minutes. The assassin then goes downstairs.
First 5 minutes of the show, she dies.
To the bartender. Why is this important? Because the bartender becomes the person that identifies the attacker, killer, this person. Yeah. In the next scene, we see the other character that looks exactly like the assassin. Huh, maybe they're twins.
By the way, she's in space. So my question here is, how can there be fire in space? Doesn't fire require oxygen? The last I checked, space doesn't have oxygen. If she did, she wouldn't need a suit providing oxygen. But anyway.
Maybe they're related. Who knows? But she's a mechanic, and she's got her spacesuit on, and she goes out to put out a fire in space. And while she was putting out the fire, the ship was boarded by 2 Jedi. And we get to see that the ship is being run by Viceroy Gunry's cousin. Maybe his brother, maybe a relative he doesn't talk to anymore. We are then introduced to Yord, a Jedi Knight who has...
By the way, that's Charlie Bennett right there, the guy that says Anakin's the one that blew up the Death Star. Ooh, he really knows his stuff. Not.
As a Padawan, and he's looking for someone that fits the description of the assassin, a former Jedi, he says. When they finally meet, we realize that they've known each other for some time. This is Osha. She was in the Jedi Academy, and she...
I'm sorry, but that name still cracks me up. I laughed every time I heard her name being called Osha, because that's safety regulations in the professional business world. See, if you remember. Occupational Safety and Health Administration. That's what OSHA stands for. They named a Star Wars character after Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Yeah.
Quit on her own. Now, this is the thing. They keep telling her story over and over through flashbacks, through reminiscing, through other Jedi. Basically, she was 8 years old, and her tragic loss of her family, not really sure how that happened, but just scarred her for life. She couldn't finish her Jedi training, and she left. And then this excuse that they were talking here was, maybe you were just a little too old. I've heard that before with Anakin. Remember, Anakin was too old to do the training. So now they were saying, yeah, maybe you were too old. You were 8 years old when you started your training, and that's why you washed out of Jedi school.
Yeah, see, they still can't come up with anything original. I mean, that proves it right there. They came up with an idea that, oh, maybe you're just too old. Maybe you're too old when you went through the Jedi training. Because they stole that idea from, Anakin and Lucas.
Well, he begins to tell her, like, hey, a Jedi was murdered, and you fit the description. So now you're arrested, and you need to come with me. Now we go back to Coruscant, where we finally get to see Venestra. This was a popular character in the High Republic. I'm guessing, at least that's what people are saying. She's also the one that uses the lightsaber whip. And her opening scene is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in Star Wars. Basically, she walks up to automatic doors and waves her hand in front of it like she's using the Force. I don't care. You can't tell me any different.
I gotta admit,
the doors were
I didn't
probably locked.
notice this when I watched the episode.
Yeah, that ain't it. They were always automatic doors, and she waves her hand in there like she's walking into a Walmart or a grocery store. Listen, if you're a young man, if you're an old man, if whoever you were, if you were a Star Wars fan, anytime you walked into a Walmart, Target, anything that had those automatic doors, you waved your hand in front of them. That's just what you did. I thought this was really dumb to show this, that, you know, hey, I'm not using the Force, but I feel like I'm going to try, even though the doors will automatically open. Don't argue with me on this one. You guys know I'm right. This was a stupid piece to be added in there just to set the...
I agree with him. This was like, I didn't notice this when I first watched the episode. But those doors, this is Coruscant. All the doors in Coruscant, all 100% automatic. You don't have to do anything to open them. They sense when you walk up to them. Like it is in Star Trek. The doors just open automatically. So why would she need to, quote, use the Force to open up the door? This is stupid. And I don't know if the actress was directed to be this way, or if she just thought this was cool to do, or didn't realize that the doors are supposed to be automatic and you don't have to use the Force. I don't know. It's just stupid. Why did they put this in there? Once again, like I said, the Acolyte is stupid. It really is. This has got to be... See, I'll be honest with you. When I watched Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka and some of the other shows that Disney Plus has created in Star Wars, I thought those were bad until I saw this. Until I saw the Acolyte. Then I'm going, okay, I didn't think that Disney could make Star Wars any worse. Well, I was wrong. Oh, man. Just when you think Disney can't go any lower, they find a way to use an elevator or a stepladder to get lower down.
The tone for this character who is as stiff as a board the entire series. Maybe that's just how her character is. I don't know anything about this character, but the portrayal of this character is as stiff as any board that you will ever find.
Yeah, she's like a stick in the mud.
Dear Lord. Anyway, she comes in and tells Master Soul that a Jedi was murdered, and it possibly could be one of your old apprentices or someone that you trained. So they're like, well, we've got her in custody, and when she gets here, you can question her. Let's just see how this works out, but let's keep it a secret. We got to keep it a secret, because if this gets out, our political enemies will seek to destroy us, and they all agree. So now we go back to Osha, who is in a prison.
I'm sorry. I had to laugh. Every time I hear OSHA, I don't think of Star Wars. It takes me out of the show. Because partly was at one point in my IT career, I worked for Compaq, and I was required to do as a trainer. I was required to do OSHA training. I had to get OSHA certified to do that. So it's like my mind just keeps going back to being a trainer and teaching safety and precaution standards. I'm sorry. I just can't help it. It's hilarious. Oh, man.
Prison ship, a prison vessel, and there's other prisoners there that are looking at her saying, hey, we're about to break out. Are you with us? She's like, no, I believe in the Jedi. They're going to do the right thing. And they're like, well, you're lost. So they do something, and the ship opens up all the doors except for hers. They run out, they get into escape pods, and the prisoners leave her all alone. She then conveniently finds her droid on the ground because the ship is shaking and all her stuff just shoots out everywhere from wherever it came from. She's able to get released, but she can't get the ship
Oh, one thing I will say that I did like also, I did like this little droid. Of course, I've always been very partial to droids in Star Wars. It's one of the things that I really like about Star Wars is droids. I mean, look, my favorite character is R2D2. And I don't care what Leslie Head Square or any of these weirdos say. R2D2 is not a lesbian, is not a gay. R2D2 canon is a droid. Lucas didn't care about those kinds of things. If he did, he would have said something. I know. Anyway, I do like this little droid. So far in the show, they haven't said this little droid is gay or not, but it's like a giant, it's like a multi-tool. A Pip, named Pip, like a droid multi-tool, which I thought was kind of cool, because it can do various different things.
And conveniently finds her droid on the ground because the ship is shaking and all her stuff just shoots out everywhere from wherever it came from. She's able to get released, but she can't get the ship powered up, so she just straps in as the ship crashes conveniently.
Oh, wait a minute. One other thing I know I keep going back to this, but I got to go back to this droid again. The other thing that I noticed was, and this is once again, I want to point it out. There is a droid in the game of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I've played. This droid is called BD-1. And he kind of, to me, the head of BD-1 looks like the head of Pip. Amazing, huh? How that works out, that they can't even design a droid to be unique. They have to actually steal it for something else. Anyway, let's go back to what we were doing here.
Out everywhere from wherever it came from. She's able to get released, but she can't get the ship powered up, so she just straps in as the ship crashes conveniently. She's A-okay. So now back on Coruscant.
Yeah, that was also weird too. I mean, all the other prisoners took all the remaining escape pods, so she just literally straps her into a ship that's going to go down and crashes really badly on a planet in the snow and so forth, and she walks away without a scratch. Yeah, that's not how physics works.
They were like, hey, the ship crashed. We got the other prisoners, but the one that we're looking for wasn't there. Why don't you go investigate? So Soul's like, okay, I'll put a team together and we'll go investigate. Then the most weirdest, bizarre scene ever happens in episode 1. This Jedi Yord was steam ironing his Jedi robe and had half his clothes off out in the open. His Padawan and Master Jedi Soul walk around the corner and look at him, and he begins to apologize, saying,
he's dry cleaning, steam cleaning his Jedi robe. Why do Jedi care about that? They don't. They care about bringing balance and fighting the forces of evil in the Star Wars galaxy. Not whether or not they look good doing it. Seriously? It just, I couldn't believe this. I was stunned first off when I saw it. I go, what's he doing? And then it dawned on me what he was doing, and I'm going, are you kidding me? He took a moment out of their mission to clean his Jedi robe.
Sorry, I wasn't ready, and yeah, I'll get my clothes on or whatever, while they just stare at him. Master Soul goes and taps him on the shoulder and says, can you just be ready in 5 minutes? We're heading out. But he just stands there with his shirt off, just looking at his Padawan. I found this scene very odd. I don't get it. I don't know if they were trying for comedic value, maybe to laugh. Oh, we caught him with his robe off, everyone. Ha ha ha, look at him. Or
yeah,
maybe they're just showing how
it wasn't funny to me. It was weird.
Wrinkle free. I don't know, but they threw it in there. There you go. Anyway, they make it to the planet where OSHA is hiding.
I'm sorry. When I watched this review the other day from Jay, I kept laughing too every time he said the word OSHA. I'm sorry. It does. It makes me laugh. I must have laughed I don't know how many times during the viewing of Acolyte. It just takes me out of it. It's like it's like that same thing of like, a dog walking along and sees squirrel. I'm trying to watch a Star Wars episode and pay attention to what's going on, and all of a sudden I hear OSHA go, squirrel! Anyway.
In caves, but before that, she did have a flashback scene of pain that she went through with her family, and there's a big fire. Her and her twin are just running from the fire, and they keep pushing this story of her being 8 years old. A family tragedy happens. All her family was killed, and there was a big fire, and that's all we know. But they just keep talking about it the whole time.
By the way, this is a Padawan, not his Padawan, because he's only a Jedi Knight. Jedi Forge. She never once refers to him as Master or anything like that. Matter of fact, she doesn't refer to any of the others as that way either. She just constantly calls them by their name, which is not exactly what a Padawan would be doing. They always show respect. Unless they have a personal... there was a point to where, like, Ahsoka and Anakin in the Clone Wars did get on a one-for-one basis where they, and even with Anakin and Obi-Wan, they did sometimes call each other by name. But it's because they also grew in that relationship. This is not Souls or Ford's Padawan or whatever. Actually, she's the actress that played X-23 in the Logan movie. But nevertheless, it just, to me, I felt like this was another way of showing disrespect because, of course, with the DEI stuff and the political agenda that they're pushing of wokeness, no way could a subservient woman ever be subservient to a man. It doesn't work that way. So no wonder she's being disrespectful for the whole 2 episodes I saw her in. Never once referring to him as Jedi Knight or Jedi Master, just calling them by their name.
Time. But I did want to show this still while they were looking and running through the caves to find OSHA. They finally figured out what they're going to use lightsabers for, and it's for a flashlight. That's right. They ignited the saber because they couldn't see, and now they're using it as a flashlight running through the caves. They sorry, started laughing. They did find OSHA, and she's like, I didn't do anything.
OSHA! That's
and
OSHA right there.
Like, okay, I believe you. She almost falls down a cliff, and now they join forces to find her twin sister. Boom, boom, boom. There's the plot twist. And then we get treated with the
that's the same. That's the same plot twist that I talked about the other day that Disney Lucasfilm themselves actually spoiled before the show released even.
Maybe the second dumbest scene of the series.
Evil twins in Star Wars.
To see her master, the Acolyte, who is rambling about absolutely nothing with some weird voice. He's like, Acolytes kill Jedi with no weapon. Acolytes must not use weapon. While igniting a lightsaber, I didn't understand what the heck he was talking about. It made zero sense. It wasn't threatening at all. It sounded cringe, and it actually was kind of laughable.
Yeah, and the only thing I could think of. I agree with him here. It sounds cringe that Acolyte's kill with no weapon, yet he clearly lights a lightsaber. The only thing I can think of is that they're showing that the lightsaber is lit because it's red, and that it indicates that this would be a Sith. That's the only thing I can remotely think of that makes any sense whatsoever. But even then, it just, why would you need to do that where you could just simply, have May start calling him master? Obviously, May is someone that is a Force user, that's not a Jedi, that is more aligned with the dark side of things, because she's an assassin going around killing Jedi. It would make sense to me that if she turned around and started calling him master. But once again, I don't think they can allow a female to say master to a male character. It's that their extreme narcissistic feminism stuff they're trying to push. Anyway.
I started laughing when I saw this scene because I'm like, this is supposed to be the big bad Acolyte? Who's
right. Exactly.
Acolyte fights a Jedi. I'm trying to do my best, man. If you heard it, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But
It
basically,
sounded
he's
real
like,
raspy.
don't use a weapon, but let me ignite my lightsaber.
Don't use a weapon.
Anyway, that's the end of episode 1.
Yay!
I give it a 4 out of 10, and I think I'm being generous. But episode 2 revs it up. So you ready? Let's just jump right into episode.
And each of these episodes are listed as 45 minutes on Disney Plus, but as normal with the Disney Plus shows, it's about 33 minutes long. The rest of that's credits. Shocker, right? And which, to be honest with you, I have no problem with that now with this show. I'm thinking less is more.
Episode 2, we have our assassin, May, as she looks to kill 4 Jedi for revenge. She's already killed the first one in episode 1, and now she's on to the second. And we get to meet this guy, this Jedi who is floating over the ground, sitting Indian style, and we learn that he's been sitting there
Jedi
like this
Master
for 10
Torben, I believe.
years. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't eat. Doesn't go to the bathroom. Doesn't shower. Just sits there for 10 years. Doesn't speak.
Yeah, floating
And
in the air,
while he's
meditating
sitting
for
there
10
in
years.
Some kind of meditation. He's got some kind of invisible force dome around him. So May shows up and tries to punch and kick and stab, and she can't get past this force dome. So she figures out another way on how she could kill this Jedi. Our heroes are now alerted that someone broke into this random Jedi temple on some random planet. I didn't know there was like little porta potty Jedi temples all over the galaxy. And they were like, hey, maybe that's the person we need. Why don't you go investigate? So they're going to go investigate. May then goes to a local shop where she knows this guy, and he makes her a deadly poison. Our heroes land on the planet and begin to talk to the local Jedi that are part of the temple to figure out who broke in. And this is my favorite part of the series because we are now introduced to the overweight Jedi. I finally feel like I have representation. We got him right there. Big Mac Order 66 right in
Big Mac Order 66. Jay. You know what? I'm glad Jay feels finally represented in Star Wars. I don't. I still yet to see a Jedi penguin. Sip break. I need to sip some iced coffee. So sip them if you got them. Okay. I would think, I do know this much. I would think it would be kind of cool in a way to see this guy right here doing jumps and flips and fighting with a lightsaber. I don't know.
In front of us, I don't care what you're saying. This is my new favorite character in Star Wars. I want the action figure. I need the posters. I need to know everything about this Jedi. I want to know.
Jay is a big guy, by the way.
I want to know how he got so far in the academy. I want to know if he got more midi-chloridian counts because he's put on extra weight. I need to know. This is my guy right here. Don't you dare.
Extra midi-chlorians because he's overweight? I don't know if that's a thing, Jay, but okay. That's funny, though.
Take him from me, Disney. Don't you dare. I want to see him at the theme parks. I want to see him in Galaxy's Edge. This is it. This is my moment. This is it. Don't even get at me in the comments. I'm not going to read them. This is my guy right here. I love it. This is so
messed up.
Woo! And we go from that amazing screen presence to this. May breaks into the Jedi Temple again, puts down the poison in front of this Jedi that's been in meditation for 10 years and says, "You better see me for forgiveness for what you did." He then magically wakes up and says, "Yeah, I'm sorry." Takes the poison, drinks it, and dies. The end.
By the way, there's no mistake that they were trying to send some message with this. This is the first white male character playing a Jedi we see in the show. And what's he doing? He's been meditating for 10 years, silent. And finally, when he does come out of it, it's so that he can apologize to May. Doesn't really say what for, but then he apologizes and asks and seeks forgiveness.
End. That's it. Wow. I mean, it's pretty dumb if you want my honest opinion. How are you meditating in the Force for 10 years? Then all of a sudden someone shows up and says, "You did something to me. You better ask me for forgiveness. And here's how you do it, by drinking this poison." He knew what was coming. He was like, "Yeah, sure. All right. Please forgive me. Let me just drink it down and die." So that's 2 Jedi that she's killed. 2 more to go. Okay, I'm going to quickly wrap up this episode. Basically, the Jedi are like, all right, let's look for her. Miraculously, this guy finds her, just by looking through the binoculars. Hey, I found her. She's then confronted by Soul. They have a little Matrix fight where she screams at him and says, "You killed my sister. My sister's dead." He goes, "No, actually, your twin sister's alive." She then gets confronted by the other Jedi and the Padawan that's in the ship. And the only way she gets out of it is by using a force push and blowing smoke, she blows dust all up in the face of the Jedi and she disappears. She then steals a car and her twin sister sees her. They lock eyes. She points a gun at her twin and misses the shot and she escapes. Then we are randomly taken to another planet where we see the Jedi Wookiee who uses the Force to pull a gun out of a thief's hand, breaks the gun, screams at him, and they run off. And that's the end of the show. That's it, everyone.
Pretty much.
It's done. We're done here. I hear episode 3 is going to change Star Wars forever. So that's going to be the one to see. Holy crap. Can it get any worse than this? I don't know. To me, personally, this show is pretty boring. There's no stakes here. And it's just another typical.
Hey, SXB fan. How's it going? Over on Kick, it looks like. Yeah.
Cool. Star Wars Disney Plus show. And there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hey.
No, I do not want 10,000 right now. Sorry.
Listen, if you like it, like it. Don't worry about what we're saying online. This show just, to me, it's comedy. And I'm here for all the cringe, man. I'm here for all the cringe. So, episode 3. Let's see what they do in that one.
Okay, so there you go. That's a breakdown of episodes 1 and 2. The link to Jay's